pleased to bring you this program today. What more salient topic when we start thinking about careers? Shannon was so gracious to round up some of her friends from the Tuck School. All these folks went to Middlebury. Then they went on at professional careers, then went to Tuck, and now have very professional careers. So the format today is we're going to open up for just a short round robin with them. And then we're going to spend most of the time with your questions. Okay? So I would like you to really challenge them because the title here is Tough Tactics for Tough Times. So I'm going to encourage you to come up with some tough questions. They don't claim to be the experts, okay, but they've got some really good information, I think, from the trenches. So beyond what you're reading in the newspapers, these are some mid-alums who have gone before you and are doing well in their careers, and hopefully there's some good insight for some things you can be thinking about now that's going to prepare you for life after Middlebury. So without further ado, Mike, Shannon, and Brian. Did we decide Shannon to give up these people? Does that work? Okay, great. Let's give a warm Middlebury welcome to our...
Thank you guys so much for welcoming us back. It is very, very exciting to be on campus. I, as a student, never stepped foot in this building in the class.
Because it didn't exist, not because you did.
Oh, exactly. I did occasionally go to the library. But that one over there. Anyway, so my name is Shannon Gordon, and I graduated from Middlebury in 1998. I just had my 10-year reunion this summer. Pretty exciting. When I was going through the job search process as a senior, I thought, I think I'll go into business, and that was about all the definition that I had around it. So it was kind of a confusing and daunting process. Hopefully we can give you guys some tips to make that a little bit smoother than mine was. So when I graduated, I moved to New York City, and I worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers as a management consultant. I did IT consulting, so a lot of IT implementations. And I discovered that IT was not my heart of hearts home. And so I decided that but I also knew that I wanted a career in business. So I decided to leave New York City, and I went to Senegal, West Africa, and I was a Peace Corps volunteer for 2 years, a business volunteer, so I did grassroots development there. And then when I came back, it was right after September 11th, and I faced a job market probably not quite as tough as the one we're facing right now, but had to pound the pavement literally. I drove all over New England looking for a job and talking to as many Middlebury people as I possibly could. Turned out to be a Middlebury alum. I used the mid-net online and just found a bunch of people to talk to, and it was a mid-alum who helped me get my job at Wellington Management Company, where I was a client service analyst for about a year and a half. Applied to the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth while I was there, and then obviously spent 2 years at Tuck and graduated, and I now work for McKinsey Consulting, McKinsey & Company. It's a consulting company, and I'm out of their Chicago office. So I do the majority of my work in pharma, so healthcare space, and a bit in the consumer space as well as retail. So that's the great thing about consulting, you get to do a little bit of everything. So just to give you a quick rundown of my tips for getting a job in a very tough market, and we can get into this a ton more. I think all of the same skills apply in a tough market as you would use in a good market. The thing is, you just have to be you have to up your game a little bit, right? So I think the most important thing is getting out there and talking to people. So making sure that you understand what jobs you're looking for, what it entails, and why you're well suited for it, why you want it. And the way you do that is you talk to a lot of mid-alums, or anybody else you know, but I find the Middlebury network to be great. All of us are excited to get calls from you guys, so we'd love to tell you about what we do and put you in touch with friends that we have that also went to Middlebury that can tell you about their careers. So that is a great resource for you all. The other thing I see, or a common mistake that I see with undergrads, is just not being adequately prepared, not only for the interview itself, but for that networking conversation. So you can imagine, I'm running around like a crazy person all day trying to get things done, and I get this phone call from a student. I'm really excited to talk to this person. But if that person doesn't really know why they're calling, or they kind of don't really have any questions prepared, or it becomes, I think, a less productive conversation for the student. And it's great to hear from somebody who's like, I've got these couple of questions for you, I'm really excited to talk to you because of X, Y, or Z. It just helps me get energized about it too. And it makes me want to go the extra mile for the student also. So being prepared even for those initial conversations I think is really important. And then there's this whole world around kind of interviewing and networking etiquette. You'd be surprised how many people don't send like the quick thank you email, but I think it makes a real difference just to say, I really appreciated your time, here are the great things that I learned, and excellent. It makes me feel like, oh good,